Hey there guys, gals, non-binary pals, it's DMG and welcome back to Blitz, and today we have the pleasure of watching a few mastery games, this time from Gustav from the clan Crux. Anyways, on to replays itself. I have figured out how to extract the replay file into the Blitz on my Mac, and it is playing, and now it is a matter of executing the process itself. These replays that I'm showing today are older. They are before the update happened that installed the replay system, and I'm trying to clear these out. Not to say that they aren't good replays, they are, but you will see more recent replays post replay update soon. Anyways, let's focus on our hero today. This is Gustav, as I've said before, playing in the Tier 9 French light tank. It is the Batchat T25 TAP. This tank, unlike the Batchat at Tier 10, has the alpha to carry itself in a respectable manner. 310 alpha at Tier 9 is the same as the T54, which is nothing to scoff at, and it allows you to really put the hurt on Tier 8 tanks and take away 2/3 to about a half of their HP if you hit all your shots. And that's kind of the problem with the Batchat at Tier 9. It doesn't have the best accuracy, meaning that it can be a little bit iffy in terms of its ability to output damage. Now, something that I think is really important with autoloaders is your ability to pen all 3 shots, and half the reason I believe this is because I've heard this from, I believe it was Defaults in Pramo, saying that penning every shot in an autoloader is uber important, or is paramount. And I really started to think about that because if you're going to play an autoloader, if you miss one shot, let's say, and you're driving this Batchat, if Gustav misses one shot per clip, that means he's doing 620 alpha as opposed to 930 alpha and then going on his full clip reload. That would lower his DPM significantly. And if you're not penning every shot, you know, and that gives you some really bad, I guess, decision-making ability, because you want to go in and you want to clip things, but then if you miss a shot, you don't actually kill the target, and then the target eats you alive instead as you're trying to run away on your clip reload. Anyways, Goose is going around here, absolutely assassinating tanks, has already picked up a few kills to his name, and he will be engaging the low, finishing him off pretty easily with 2 shots. And like I said, hey, penning your shots, there you go. Hitting 2 shots there, clipping out the low. And I believe this, if there is one mistake in this gameplay, it is right here as he crosses the bridge. Does not go for a full clip reload. I would have gone for this, because by the time you've crossed the bridge, maybe you've gone through like a third to half of your clip reload, and then you would been able to engage all these targets. And now he's already gone with 1 shot away, and he's kind of struggling now to get back his clip. He's just running around like a madman trying to reload and stay alive. He finally gets the clip back, is able to finish off the T54 Mod 1, and then just goes right into Leopard PTA, who has made a mistake in trying to poke all the way up there. Now, the Batchat does work well in this scenario, and Goose so far has, or not Goose, Gustav so far has picked up 6 kills to his name, achieving a Pools medal. Now we'll see if he can go for the Rosini. He asked for it in the chat. Hopefully he gets it. His teammates are rushing to go for it. And then you see in the team chat eventually, or very soon, that they want to let him get the 7 kill. And these are the kind of moments in Blitz that I think really highlights good community and team play, aside from all the toxic commentary, myself included. Anyways, if the idea here is that you want to be able to clip out on your opponents, the Batchat does that to a somewhat decent degree because it has the camo to clip out and sit there. Now this Pershing, he's going to try and engage his final target on full health, takes one from the Pershing and is about to spend the last one in his clip. Hits 3 shots on the Pershing, getting his full clip off, but now he is a 1 shot. This is not a great decision either, but it gets the job done as he's able to back around in time for that before that Pershing rounds the corner and shoots. And I like what he's going to do here. He's going to point his butt towards the Pershing, because since the Batchat is a rear mount, is able to poke out. The Pershing comes around the corner. He's got to hit a shot. The Pershing is about to fire. Oh, he misses, and then Gustav finishes him off for the second kill, and a GG in the chat for 7 kills and a lovely mastery badge for a tier 9 Batchat. I believe this is before the ammunition capacity got buffed as well for 4,462 damage. Lovely stuff there. It's always nice to see a 7-kill game in a Clipper. Clippers are great at finishing off targets and have the ability to deal damage very well in the right situations. Now we have the pleasure of watching Bassfisher 15 playing in the FV4202. This is the tier 10 British medium tank that was recently buffed, but was before that nerfed, and then before that buffed again. I don't know. There's too much going on with this tank. But in its current state, I still don't think it's that good. Despite it having its premium hashback or having 2 gun options, I do think it would be a nice logical progression from a 2 weapon Centurion 7-1 to a combined weapon on the FV4202 to have premium hash and heat and that lovely APCR. I think that would really make the tank special, but unfortunately Wargaming is not playing ball. Anyways, you can see Hesh going to work there on the side of that E75, immediately starting out the game with a fire, a nice high roll at that, and that's where Hesh comes in really handy, because that E75 has now burned a repair kit and is on a recharge for that repair kit, which means he is slightly less combat effective. I mean, not immensely, but every little bit helps. And when you can force your enemy to burn repair kits early in the game, that means that they are subject to being rushed somewhat later, if you can catch them on a cooldown. And if you can track them, they're really paralyzed and caught in place. The FV4202 does have a lovely rate of fire, and its knife-like upper plate is suited for the town engagement. While it doesn't have the best turret, I do think when you can put it in these town situations where you're doing these close quarters brawls and enemies are forced to shoot at you in close quarters, I do think the upper plate does have a little bit more use than it would on a gun depression hill, even though the FV4202 should be more of a gun depression style medium with 10 degrees. You can see Bassfisher putting in lovely shots into the IS-7, and despite having the side armor nerfed on that Russian heavy tank, it is still very, very bias OP, and it is able to bounce, what, 2 shots from APCR. And now that Jagdpanzer E100 angles just a little bit, and this is where Hesh gets a little finicky, because unless you're getting the absolute flat side of a tank, it is very difficult to penetrate with Hesh. Luckily, Bass is getting right next to this Jagdpanzer E100 and is able to finish him out of the game. Jagdpanzer E100 moves forward, and the IS-7, I believe, on his team is able to finish him off. Another great thing about the FV4202 that you can see in this moment is its lovely acceleration speed. And see, there's Hesh going to work again. Hesh, in a nutshell, allows the FV4202 to finish off targets it normally shouldn't, or kill targets faster than, quicker than normal. It creates certain opportunities that you just wouldn't get with, say, an E50M. And while the E50M does have superior turret armor and superior hull in certain niche arguments, the FV4202's Hesh is just so good, and you're able to really pound DPM out on targets that are not ready to deal with you. And if you can continue to tactically set up those engagements, the FV4202 does pay dividends. Now, I really like what he's doing here, and as I was going back to saying, the FV4202 has lovely acceleration. Gets up to 50 kilometers an hour, and while that's not the fastest, it gets there somewhat quickly. And he's going to engage this ST-1. He's on a one-shot. He needs to be very careful. Puts in a lovely round into the side of the turret, and now that he's spotted, he needs to be very careful. He can't afford to poke his hull out sideways, because that's an easy pen. If he wants to poke this way, he's going to want to angle it slightly so that only the upper front plate is showing and the turret is not exposed, which is quite a difficult ask to do in a very flat town environment. But he's waiting to go unspotted, gets behind the rock. For some reason, his teammate has died, I think, or is about to die. Well, no spoilers, right? But regardless, Bass is making kind of a questionable decision here, but it does work as the ST cannot cover multiple angles with its enormous tadpole-like turret, and unfortunately, he will be engaged by this medium tank. But oh no, proxy spot occurs, and Base is going to have to run away. Now this is this cat and mouse game now. The ST1 has finally killed off the last teammate. Bass needs to make a good decision here. He cannot afford to poke, and this is what is so important here. This is patience, guys, right here. You want to know how many people would try and just rush and try and poke and say, I'm going to get around the corner faster than he can aim and fire, so that means I'm going to win. Bass is not taking that chance. He makes the smart tactical decision, waits for the right moment. Lovely acceleration on the FB4202, as you see there. Russian accuracy does not serve the ST1 there. Does not serve the ST1 well there, and Bass finishes the game with a lovely 4 kills and 6,500 damage. Lovely stuff there. And of course, premium hash is quite costly, so there is a credit loss. But being able to spam that kind of firepower in a short amount of time more than makes up for credit loss. And I'm sure they have a tier 8 credit grinding tank to make up for it. So, anyways, good stuff there by Bass. It is lovely to see people play tanks that are not commonly used, like the FB4202. And speaking of uncommonly used tanks, the VK4502A, the tier 8 German piece of garbage, is going to be driven very, very well this game. Now, the VK is not a fantastic tank. It is far from a fantastic tank. In fact, I think it is one of the worst at its tier. I think it is worse than a Tiger II in every way. Let's just get that out of the way right now. I mean, besides mobility, which the VK is marginally better in, the Tiger II just has a better front profile. It has more gun depression, about 25 more millimeters standard penetration. The accuracy is better. The DPM is better. Everything about the King Tiger is better than the VKA. And a lot of people say that the King Tiger is crap anyway. So that's not really helping the VK situation. And not to mention, it just gets overshadowed in a tier full of heavy tanks. But we are going to see today that the VKA is a lovely, lovely tank that, when driven well, can output some serious numbers. And this is what you should do against mediums. You know, put it against lower tier mediums, and then your weak armor profile at tier 8 and tier 9 suddenly becomes decent against tanks like the M41 Bulldog. But even there, you can see the Bulldog is able to pen the side of the VKA, and yes, it was a flat side. But still, the point is that a heavy tank is meant to kind of absorb damage and maybe bounce a few shots, and when you're getting penned by a Bulldog, that's never a good scenario. But anyways, I guess we should insert the Roblox death sound as our hero ammo racks the M41 Bulldog. Anyways, this AMX 1390 or 1375 is coming around, and HE is just flying out the barrel of the VKA, and it is quite lethal, as the 1375 does not have the HP to compete with all of this HE DPM that the VKA can carry. This AMX is going to be a real dumb idiot in the next, minute or so. Just watch as this guy pokes around the corner. But our focus, oh, here we go, right here. There you go. Let's drive over the hill and see if we can kill all the guys. Nope, I guess that's not going to happen. Gets absolutely deleted within the scope of what, 4 or 5 seconds, something like that. Anyways, we're just going to keep trotting on here. VKA is just plowing through tanks. Not all bad, as we're going to see here. VKA can really put out damage when it's given the right situation, but I wouldn't say that makes it a great tank. We're just seeing some decent to exceptionally skilled driving and maybe some weaker enemies. But regardless, this is a mastery replay, and like I said, with everyone sending in mastery replays, I will get to them all, hopefully before the update drops, because I know once the update drops, I cannot view replays from the update previously. So once that happens, I will not be able to see updates from 4.10 when 4.11 hits. Anyways, that's the game. Lovely, lovely stuff there, and I can't believe this happened. I think I forgot to mention the name on this. Ah, and that is Corporal Chaz. I totally forgot to mention the name. I am so sorry about that. But lovely game. Great watching you play a very unpopular and, even in my opinion, underwhelming vehicle so well. If you like that content, please hit that like button and subscribe. And if you didn't, please leave your constructive criticism in the comment section. As always, I appreciate the opportunity to share my passion with you today, and I hope to see you next time.